Hello, this is Delphi, qualified counsellor and mindfulness practitioner, planning to help you sparkle in the coming days, weeks and potentially months as part of the coronavirus and COVID-19 outbreak. This is one of a series of videos that I'm planning to put together free of charge and to share through my social media networks to help people that particularly struggle with panic or anxiety and to help people manage their mental health and well-being in the weeks to come. This particular video is going to focus on managing a panic attack. Now, whether you are somebody that suffers with panic attacks or whether you are someone who is in the presence of people that have panic attacks, how we respond when we know that a panic attack is coming is really important. And one of the things that sometimes people do when they see somebody having a panic attack is they can often respond unhelpfully by saying things like, just pull yourself together or just calm down. And we know that that doesn't work. The reason for that is because the part of the brain that deals with logic, rational information processing, good decision making, it literally goes offline when somebody is going through a panic attack. So it's more important than ever that when you see somebody who is going through a panic attack that you know what to do. And one of the first things that I wanted to say is that it's really important that you stay calm. If somebody sees you panicking, then that will just exacerbate their panic. In the same way, the next thing that I encourage people to do is to let them know that you can see that they're not okay, but that you are going to reassure them that it will pass. If it is a panic attack, then you will be able to help them in ways that are meaningful and it will pass. And so to be able to reassure them can be a really helpful thing to do. The other thing that I would say to people is that if it doesn't pass, certainly very quickly, then it's always important to ring 999. If you are genuinely worried for someone or if they're genuinely worried for themselves, don't fob it off. It is important to ring the emergency services, particularly 999, and ask for an ambulance. That will reassure the person. If it does turn out to be a panic attack, it will reassure them. But also the ambulance service will know what to do on the telephone and how to support somebody if that's what it turns out that it sounds to be. So the first thing then is to remain calm. The second thing is that you can see that they are not okay, but that you want to reassure them that it will pass. And if ever in any doubt, to ring 999. Now, there are things that we can do to support somebody who suffers with anxiety and particularly panic attacks. And one of the things that we can do is to teach them a technique which is called 4 square breathing. Now, you might have heard of this before, but I teach it in quite a different way because I actually encourage people to use their mobile phones. Now, most people have their mobile phones on them every day, which means that this is an accessible tool that you will have with you at the time that this might be happening. But again, if you see somebody that you think is having a panic attack, you can very easily reach for your phone and teach them this technique if you feel comfortable and confident to do so. So what I wanted to say with you is that we know that the breath is the switch that can switch off or certainly slow down those feelings of panic. When a person is going into a panic attack, their breathing is affected. They will start to often breathe very quickly, and this in itself can exacerbate those feelings of anxiety. The body registers that something's not okay, and that then can potentially exacerbate the rapid breathing. It becomes, if you like, a vicious cycle. So what I wanted to teach you was a technique about how you can switch and use the breath to switch the mind from a place of I can't cope to I can cope. And this is where I do this 4 square breathing technique and encourage people to do this, perhaps using their mobile phone. Now, you might think, well, it's called 4 square breathing, but actually your mobile phone isn't square, it's a rectangle. And the reason I use a mobile phone for this is because actually we know that the out breath is a significant part in helping somebody to relax their body and mind. So for this reason, I encourage people to use their phone. The short side of their mobile phone represents the in-breath, and the long side of the mobile phone represents the out breath. And there's 2 different ways that you can do this technique. So as somebody looks as if they might be going into a panic attack, one of the things that you can do is encourage them to look at your mobile phone, or if you are somebody that is going through a panic attack, you can do this yourself just by looking at your mobile phone and using the outside edge of your phone, tracing the outside edge of your mobile phone with your finger. So as you breathe in, tracing the outside edge of your phone, And as you breathe out, trying to get your out breath to last as long as it takes for you to drag your finger along the outside edge of your phone. Again, breathing in and breathing out. And this can actually help to regulate the breathing. I've worked with many people that have found this technique particularly useful. So again, breathing in and breathing out. And as far as is possible, using the outside edge of your phone to regulate the breath as you're breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Now, if you want to make this even more helpful, particularly if your mind is just running away with you at the time of the panic attack, your mind wants something to do. Your mind is designed to think. And if you don't give it a job, your mind will find something. You'll know, for example, if you've ever tried meditation as an activity, that you'll try to meditate and all of a sudden an argument you had with somebody 20 years ago pops into your head, all the things that you wish you had said or hadn't said. And that's an example of how meditation and mindfulness particularly is not about clearing the mind at all. It's a massive myth, which I'll cover in another video. But the idea that you clear your mind is actually one of the reasons why people stop meditating, because they just can't do it. Nobody can. So what we're going to try and do is to regulate the breathing and manage the mind. So rather than trying to clear the mind, we want to manage the mind. And by that, I just mean giving it something to do, but with your awareness on this particular activity as an example. So if you want to, you can use the outside edge of your phone, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Again, using the outside edge of your phone to regulate your breathing. But what you could also do, as you're using your finger along the outside edge of your phone, you could, if you wanted to, say the words in your mind of what you're doing. That is mindfulness in action, describing in your mind what you're doing as you're doing it. So as you're breathing in, you simply might say in your mind, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. I am breathing in, I am breathing out. I am breathing in, I am breathing out. And this is just one example of how you can use an everyday object like your mobile phone, and particularly how you can use your breath to relax your body and mind, especially if you are somebody that is going through a panic attack or definitely feels one coming. I hope that's helpful. I'm planning to share some more videos and resources over the coming weeks and months. Please feel free to like my Facebook page at Facebook/Delphi Ellis. But also, if you want to, if you have any ideas at all about what you would like me to cover or include, please feel free to comment so that I can try my best to add that into the mix of what I'm hoping to provide free of charge in the coming weeks. Stay well, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.